If I go into an organization and they say, this will not work over here because we have 9 managers who are male and who have very strong Asian values, and we have a female manager who is very new at her work and who just came in from Germany, let's just say. This is not going to work, right? Now, listening to appreciate is this. You can say, oh, I can see that traditional, what you've been doing traditionally is very important to you. What's good about being traditional in terms of your decision making? So then you find out that 2% truth, because there's 100%, right? So try and find out the rest of the 50%, which means that you have 50 different angles to look at how you can actually approach cultural differences, right? Now, find common ground. So the thing is this, if you are a cook, who of you are cooks over here? Okay, who of you love food? Food? Okay, since you're in India, we talk about curry, okay? Okay, you know that well, I don't really cook the curry the way that you do, but I'm just assuming that these are some of the ingredients that you go into. So we're finding common ground. Can you see that? We're talking about curry. My version of curry is very different from your version of curry. But what I do know a little bit about curry is they have a lot of spices. There's maybe some curry spice, there's lentils, there is cumin seeds perhaps, there's mustard seeds. And you know that if you put in all of these different elements at different points in time, your recipe is either going to be a recipe for disaster or a recipe for success. For instance, if you put your oil and your onions as your last ingredient, forget it, it's never going to work. Because, well, maybe not, but I don't know. So anyways, this is assumingly that you have to put in the oil first, you have to fry everything, and then you put in the onions, and then that's how I cook it at least. And then I can ask you, this is how I cook it. What about you? How do you cook your curry? Right? Finding common ground is great when it comes to food because nothing is personal. And then when something happens in your organization where you have to refer back to that food business and the food curry information, it's, oh, this is like the curry story, right? Like you say this as you have to put in the oil first. But you know where we do it in Jaipur, I don't know why I say Jaipur, or when we do it in Mumbai, we put in the mustard seeds first because the aroma just fills the room. Let's just say, right? So then you can see the difference. I don't really know what I'm talking about at the moment, but you get what I mean. So talk about food, talk about curry, go back to that, and you can see and banter around what's the differences in your culture. Create a new way to partner. Everyone is different. Everyone wants different things. A lot of the coaches might say about, people fear, people want trust, people want respect, people want relationship, people want to be seen, heard, and understood. Find new ways and creativity to partner with the person, the group, the organization, and the culture in front of you. If it really is a stretch for you as a coach, or if it's really a stretch for you as a team leader in the organization or leader in the organization to actually address it, you can actually verbalize it to neutralize it. So for instance, you can say as a leader, it's very hard for me to say this because I'm a new leader, let's just say, to this organization, and this is where I need your help. Can you please tell me how to communicate with you? Can you tell me your working style? Can you tell me how to work with you? For instance, when is the best time in this organization to hold meetings? Is it the morning, in the middle, or the end of the day? What is your culture around agreeing to disagree? Ask what you would probably deem as the most mundane question ever, because it gives you insight around who's answering. If someone's answering and the person is maybe if you're in Mumbai, if someone's answering and the whole group is all Indian, then you will know who in your organization are your allies. That's number one. Then number two is about the homogeneity. You will then realize that these are the people that you can employ to bring out information about the culture of the people. You will also know that the person in the room who is the quietest is probably the person in the room you have to speak to personally. So this is how you actually find out about managing and navigating culture in Asia. It is an absolute misassumption to think that the person who is the quietest has nothing to offer, and the person who speaks the most has a lot to offer. And unfortunately, in organizations, the ones who actually are able to speak the Western language, which means they're able to be proactive in organization, proactive in meeting, can speak with the leader face to face as if they're like friends, they are the ones who usually get promoted. But as a leader, you need to find out whether or not this person is as good with emotional skills as they are with leading teams within their own organization at the level that the rest of the team are in terms of the culture. So that's what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Great. I'm getting there. Ta-da! So this is what this whole work is based on. It's a coaching for innovation framework. I've changed some of the things, but just know that this is going to be out in the book. If you're interested to know more about coaching for innovation in Asia, so there's 3 elements. There's a coaching element, there's the innovation element, and there is a cultural element. You can speak to me. So thank you very much for your time today.